Hi, I'm Vanessa Joy, and I'm going to show you how to flash yourself. It's a fun little technique that you can do two different ways. Well, I like to do it two different ways to give two very different effects. So the first kind of effect we're going to create is a nice sort of hazy glow. So I have Jennifer over here. So I'm going to set my settings as if I'm shooting in natural light, the kind of look that I'm going for, very wide aperture. So I'm going to 1.4, 250th on my shutter, and 100 ISO. So let's take a few shots and see what we got. So we've got kind of a pink thing going on here. So what I've done, and the first way we're going to flash myself, is I'm going to put a pink gel on my B10. Now you don't need to have another strobe to do it. In fact, I recommend using like an A1 or a Canon 600, something that's more of a speed light, so it's a little bit lighter since you'll be hand holding this baby. I'm just going to set it to a little bit higher than what I have my other light set to. I think the other light is set at 4, so let's just try 5. I'm just going to experiment with it and see what we end up with. Now the key to this is pointing this light directly into your lens without being able to see the light itself. So let's give it a try. And what we're going for is an overall haze. Now it is filling the shadows in, but it's hazing over the entire thing. Let's see what happens when we change a color. Now I'm going to try this with a CTO gel. So let's see what that looks like. So this is what I'm looking for. This one is really subtle. So it's just giving almost like an overall bronzy type look. The closer that you move to your subject, the more of a fill light it's going to act like. Now the brighter you go, the more of a haze it's going to have. And you might need to adjust your exposure for that, which I'm going to do right now. So it's a really fun way just to get a little bit of color, a little bit of haze into your image. Really easy way to do it, actually. Now for number 2, way to flash yourself, the glitter bomb. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you hit the link below to download my free posing guide. There's lots of inspiration for individuals, couples, and groups. So now what we've done is the exact opposite. So this is technique 2 of flashing yourself, and it's going to produce something sort of similar, but with kind of a glitter bomb effect. So I have Jennifer with V-flats behind her. The key to doing this is having more of a dark background because the glitter bomb effect is going to show up a lot more that way. I did also black out my exposure very differently from before. I do have a grid on here. This is a 5-degree grid so that I'm just pointing the light right at Jennifer. I don't want to light the background at all because then my glitter bomb effect of flashing myself isn't going to show up so great. First thing I want to do is get the exposure on Jennifer. So let's get a shot. All right, so this is what I'm looking for. Totally black, blacked out background, and then I just have the light on my model. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on this. This is set to 7.6, while this light is set to 6. I'm actually going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go half stop higher. So you usually want to have this light brighter, but it's really like a kind of play to figure out where it works. Now the fun part is you flash yourself. You just have this light pointed directly at your lens and you move it around and get a bunch of different shots, getting that kind of look. Nice. And what do you have? You have a glitter bomb. And it's also acting like a little bit of a fill light. As you go around and move the light around your lens, you're gonna get different effects as it goes around. And you can see it almost like going around in a little bit of a circle. Be careful just not to get too much of it in your lens because then it's just gonna look like a big white spot and you don't want that. So the combination of having a wide angle lens and a really small aperture is what gives that glitter bomb effect. Ideally, you have a lens that has an aspheric coating on it, which tones down the haze a little bit so you really can see more of the glitter bomb, the little bokeh that you're creating, versus the hazing effect. So that's what you want to consider. High aperture, wide angle lens, and then give this shot a try. I'm giving away a camera. We're giving away a Canon camera, a PROFOTO A1X, a copy of my book, and a copy of Capture One version 20. There are lots of ways to enter, so make sure that you do. Check the link below and come back daily for new ways to enter this contest. So I hope you found new ways to flash yourself. Give it a try. It's definitely a fun technique and a fairly simple one. You do have to play around it a little bit, so don't get discouraged if you don't get it right the first time. I'm Vanessa Joy. Make sure you hit subscribe and ring the bell so you get all the notifications next time right here.